Welcome back to Case 0360. I am your host, Braina, and today we are stepping directly into the dark, deeply unsettling depths of a true crime mystery that will completely leave you stunned. We need to talk about a calculated, blood-chilling act of betrayal that shook the very foundation of a quiet community in Haryana, India, an untold story of an ordinary young girl named Sonia who systematically wiped out her entire family in a single night of absolute horror. But what makes this case truly terrifying, and what will send a shiver down your spine, is the shocking modern twist to her destiny. Despite the gravity of the horrific crimes committed behind closed doors, whispers and local reports suggest she is currently living a life of complete freedom. Imagine the psychological torment of a community knowing that a master manipulator who orchestrated the ultimate sin against her own flesh and blood walked out of the shadows of a prison cell and into the open world. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the complex web of greed, forbidden love, and forensic deception that defined the Sonia case. Before we dissect the chilling execution of the crime, the dark motivations, and the legal loopholes that led to this unbelievable reality, please take a brief second to support our channel by subscribing, hitting that like button, and turning on the notification bell so you never miss our deep, unfiltered investigative look into the world's most shocking criminal profiles. To fully comprehend the sheer gravity of this disturbing case, we have to look past the superficial headlines and examine the exact environment where this real-life nightmare took place. Haryana is a region deeply rooted in traditional family values, ancestral land rights, and absolute communal respect. Sonia grew up inside a wealthy, influential household, surrounded by vast agricultural land and a family that provided her with every possible comfort. However, underneath the veneer of a dutiful, well-educated daughter, a dangerous, toxic resentment was quietly brewing. Sonia had become deeply entangled in a forbidden relationship that her traditional family vehemently disapproved of. When her parents threatened to cut her off financially and strip her of her massive inheritance, the trajectory of her mind completely altered. Instead of backing down, Sonia, alongside her partner, began drafting a cold mechanical blueprint to eliminate every single obstacle standing between her and the family fortune. The absolute heart of this untold story revolves around the terrifying execution of the crime on a dark, seemingly peaceful night. Sonia did not use crude, chaotic violence that would instantly alert the neighbors. Instead, she chose a method defined by absolute stealth and patience. She carefully laced the family's evening meal with a high-potency, lethal sedative. As her parents, her siblings, and even the young children in the household drifted into a deep, drug-induced helplessness, Sonia and her accomplice moved through the house like ghosts. With cold-blooded precision, they systematically strangled and bludgeoned the defenseless family members one by one, ensuring there were absolutely no survivors left to testify against them. The next morning, Sonia staged an elaborate, highly emotional performance for the local police, claiming that unknown intruders had broken into the house and slaughtered her loved ones while she miraculously hid in terror. For a brief period, her deceptive performance completely paralyzed the local community with fear, as rumors of a ruthless gang of thieves spread like wildfire. However, elite forensic teams and sharp investigators quickly noticed massive, glaring discrepancies in Sonia's timeline. There were no signs of forced entry, no valuable items missing from the home, and the forensic toxicology reports conclusively proved that the family had been heavily sedated prior to their deaths. Under intense, high-pressure interrogation, Sonia's carefully constructed mask completely shattered, leading to a full confession that sent shockwaves across the entire nation of India. The courts handed down a definitive sentence, and the world believed that the chapter had been permanently closed, with justice served for the innocent souls taken too soon. But this is exactly where the story takes a highly controversial, deeply frustrating turn that continues to baffle legal analysts to this day. Due to a series of complex legal appeals, procedural delays, and human rights interventions surrounding the commutation of capital punishment, the strictness of her confinement began to erode over the decades. In a shocking turn of events facilitated by prolonged legal maneuvers and administrative overhauls, Sonia managed to secure permanent relief from the absolute darkness of a maximum security prison cell. Reports and local murmurs have surfaced, confirming that she has transitioned into the civilian world, changing her identity, blending into a completely new environment, and living a life of autonomy and freedom far away from the blood-stained soil of Haryana. The absolute tragedy of this dark true crime story is the realization that the legal system can sometimes become so entangled in its own bureaucratic machinery that the victims are completely forgotten in the process. As a true crime investigative host, I need you to understand that while Sonia walks free under the open sky, the agonizing memory of that horrific night remains permanently etched into the consciousness of Haryana. This case stands as a stark, powerful reminder of the incredible, terrifying capacity for evil that can hide behind the innocent face of a daughter and the complex, frustrating reality of modern justice systems. Navigating the dark realities of these criminal cases requires us to remain deeply vigilant, profoundly analytical of human behavior, and completely unyielding in our remembrance of those who can no longer speak for themselves. By exposing these hidden truths and analyzing the flaws in the system, we ensure that the light of awareness continues to pierce through the darkest layers of criminal deception. Stay locked in to Case 0360 as we continue to bring you the deepest analytical deep dives and exclusive true crime breakdowns from around the world. Have a safe day, stay deeply proactive about your surroundings, and take absolute care of yourselves.